Get ready for the biggest news in racing. FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem has confirmed that the F1 governing body is actively looking into multi-team ownership, and this investigation is sending shockwaves through the sport. We dive deep into what this means for powerhouse teams like Red Bull and Racing Bulls, exploring the complex ownership structures and the potential implications for the future of Formula One.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the incredible on-track drama as Max Verstappen unleashes a massive performance surge at the Miami Grand Prix. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff was absolutely stunned by the magnitude of Red Bull Racing's 7 technical upgrades to the RB22, watching Max Verstappen catapult from midfield contention right into front-running territory. This is the story of a massive comeback that redefined the competitive landscape. We also examine the fallout from this huge performance swing, focusing on the reaction from Toto Wolff as he admitted Red Bull was a massive surprise, noting they moved from being over a second behind the leader to fighting right at the front. We break down the technical details, including the new rear wing, and see how this sudden progress changes everything for the rest of the season. And finally, we look at the broader context surrounding these developments, including the ongoing tension between rivals like McLaren and Red Bull, and what this sudden shift in power tells us about the steep development curve in this new regulation cycle. Don't miss the full breakdown of the Red Bull performance explosion and what it means for the entire Formula One paddock. Stay with us. The Formula One landscape is facing scrutiny following comments from FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem, who confirmed that the governing body is investigating multi-team ownership structures. This development has intensified controversy surrounding the relationship between the Red Bull team and its sister outfit, the Racing Bulls. Red Bull's history includes acquiring sister teams, starting with the former Minority outfit, which evolved through various names like Toro Rosso and AlphaTauri before becoming the Racing Bulls for the 2025 season. Both entities are reportedly owned by energy drink giants. The structure involves a system designed to develop young drivers, promoting them to the main Red Bull team after experience with the feeder team. Notable drivers who have transitioned include Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Isaac Hadjar. This situation has drawn sharp criticism from other F1 figures. McLaren's CEO Zak Brown has previously described the AB team's scenario at Red Bull as unhealthy. Furthermore, the rivalry between McLaren and Red Bull is reportedly strained, highlighted by past disputes, including an incident where Red Bull accused McLaren of a tire cooling technique, which the FIA dismissed but led to public commentary. The tension escalated when Red Bull's former team principal, Christian Horner, publicly criticized Brown following comments made by the McLaren executive regarding prior investigations into Horner's conduct, which ultimately cleared him of wrongdoing. In response to the growing concerns, FIA President Ben Sulayem defended the concept of multi-team ownership while acknowledging the need for investigation. Speaking to Reuters, Sulayem stated that multi-team ownership could be permissible if it is conducted for the right reasons. He clarified that ownership is acceptable as long as it is not driven by a desire to control the stake or gain undue voting power over regulations. However, he maintained a personal view that owning 2 teams is not the optimal structure, emphasizing that the FIA is actively examining this complex area. Formula One driver Max Verstappen is facing a significant challenge ahead of his upcoming race at the Nürburgring, with reports indicating a major weather disruption is anticipated. This developing situation suggests that conditions on the track could severely impact the competition and the performance of the drivers. Further updates on the specific nature and expected severity of the weather event are awaited as the situation unfolds. Red Bull's unexpected surge in performance at the Miami Grand Prix has stunned the Formula One paddock, prompting significant reactions from competitors. After starting the season trailing the field by over a second, the Milton Keynes-based team achieved a dramatic turnaround, catapulting Max Verstappen into front-running contention. The breakthrough is attributed to 7 technical upgrades implemented on the RB22 in Florida, most notably a revised rear wing design, described as a significant architectural shift. This development propelled Verstappen from the midfield into a genuine threat for the lead. Team principal Toto Wolff of Mercedes expressed considerable astonishment at the magnitude of Red Bull's progress, labeling their advancement as the most notable storyline of the race. Wolff highlighted the drastic change, stating that Red Bull moved from being over a second behind the leader to being right at the front, challenging Verstappen. Laurent Mekies, Red Bull's team principal, quantified the progress, noting that the team had previously been trailing by over a second in early Asian rounds, with qualifying times improving significantly over the weekend. Meanwhile, the competition remained fierce. McLaren continued its strong performance, with Lando Norris securing the sprint pole position before leading a 1-2 finish in the main event. Norris maintained his momentum in the Grand Prix, finishing second, with teammate Oscar Piastri rounding out the podium in third. Wolff acknowledged the volatility of the current competitive landscape, suggesting that such performance fluctuations are normal as teams refine their designs, and noted that further developments are expected in Canada. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff expressed surprise at Red Bull Racing's significant performance leap during the Miami Grand Prix weekend, acknowledging that the team's rapid advancement was unexpected. Red Bull arrived at the race with a substantial upgrade package for the RB22, incorporating 7 new components designed to enhance overall car performance. The updates yielded immediate results. Following struggles in earlier rounds of the 2026 Formula One season, Max Verstappen returned to the front row, qualifying on the front row alongside Mercedes driver Kimi Antonelli. Verstappen subsequently secured 5th place in both the sprint and the Grand Prix, signaling a crucial step forward for Red Bull. Wolff stated that the magnitude of Red Bull's improvement caught him off guard. He noted that given the early stage of the new regulation cycle and the steep development curve, Mercedes had anticipated McLaren, which also received significant upgrades, might gain only half a second. However, Wolff emphasized that Red Bull's progress was a major surprise, moving from being over a second behind the leader to challenging Verstappen directly. Meanwhile, the McLaren pairing saw Lando Norris take pole position for the sprint before the team secured a dominant 1-2 finish in the short race. Norris finished second in the Grand Prix, with Oscar Piastri completing the podium in third, applying pressure on Antonelli throughout the event. Despite Mercedes maintaining competitiveness, Wolff concluded that Red Bull's sudden progress was the most significant development of the weekend, underscoring how quickly the competitive hierarchy can shift under the new Formula One regulations.